Welcome to the Kee To Growth Podcast, Home Services Marketing Unlocked, with me, your host, Jen McKee. Every week, I sit down with top marketers in the trades, from the brains behind $100 million companies to those scaling from 1 to 3, even to 10 million, breaking down exactly how they got where they are and uncover the secret to their success. If you're ready to grow your business and get real, actionable insights, you're in the right place. Let's unlock the key to your marketing success starting now.
Key Marketing specializes in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to build your brand awareness or drive leads using social media ads. If you're ready to elevate your social media, go to keyheartmarketing.com or follow us on social media. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Kee To Growth Podcast. I am your host, Jen McKee, and today's episode is going to be so good. I am super excited to introduce my guest, and I kind of gave you a little clue there if you're not watching this, but our guest today is Paul Olsen. You didn't put your last name there, but I'm pretty sure it's Olsen.
Yes.
Paul Olsen was so good. Paul, let us know, introduce yourself if people aren't familiar with you. You don't have to go fully into everything, but just tell us who you are.
Yeah, well, so I'm the chief innovator at So Good. But I mean, I've been into the trades my whole life. So from plumber all the way through to CEO of multimillion-dollar companies, and now into marketing, AI marketing at that. So it's been quite a journey.
Yeah. So when I met you, you guys were at Pantheon. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. It had to have been the year before. But at that point, you were still CEO of a HVAC company. Is that right?
Yeah.
And also just kind of building So Good on the side, which I guess this kind of leads into like how you even created So Good. But maybe just start with what was going on at that time.
Yeah, when we met, I was operating Koala Cooling, Round Rock, Texas, and we were at Pantheon for Koala. Like we were sitting in the lectures, getting notes, meeting with vendors, negotiating, buying, and we were. I mean, it was a Koala event, so to speak, where we were literally high intent on bringing stuff back to the business.
Yeah.
But my business partner at Koala that was running the day-to-day with me, Kyle Sattler, and I had put this idea together to kind of raise our own profiles to help raise Koala's profile. And our goal was actually to start doing interviews and podcasts and have a very fun interview-esque type podcast. We weren't going to do business. We were just going to make it fun. Like if we ever have you on, like we haven't even launched a podcast. It's been almost 2 years. But if we get that together, it's going to be talking about you, and it's going to be talking about your CrossFit. It's going to be talking about the things you're doing in your life with very little to do with business, because a lot of people do a lot of business podcasts. We just like, hey, we just want to have fun. So we launched the So Good brand. That's Sattler, Olsen, and everything we do was good. It was just a very
No
joke.
way. That is an acronym.
Yeah. It was a joke of a
not know
brand.
that.
It wasn't even no LLCs, no nothing. But one of the things that people were asking us at the time was what we were doing for marketing. And we had been talking to a lot of people about the marketing Koala was doing. And people were asking us if we could do it for them. And we did not have an LLC or anything. We didn't have a business. It was in the works of having conversations. Should we this? Should we not? Should we just stay in the HVAC world without branching? And when we came away from Pantheon, we had 7 companies waiting for us to get an LLC. Like they were literally like, we'll hire you the second you open. And so we said, well, let's do a side hustle and let's do Google Maps optimizations and use the tools and the skills that Kyle had built over almost a decade of time that we were using at Koala. And So Good was born as a marketing company, but a line of marketing. Like Key is a marketing company, but you guys aren't
Super
building
niche.
websites. Most people think SEO. Yeah.
Yeah,
Focused.
you guys were super niche. So
And
you're
that's
only
where that was
working
born.
on, it's called the Map Pack. Is that right? Or what is that called? Where it's like the thing that you're looking at. See, you're so right. You're so right. I focus only on social media. And so although I'm familiar with Google and search and all of those things, it's not my expertise. I don't spend a lot of time in it. I don't really do it for Key Heart Marketing because we are a social media and referral lead. Like that's how we get leads as well. And so I don't know a lot about Google, but and also like I don't need anything with a map because I'm not a local business. But what you're specifically talking about is that graphic that we see that's like your area map, and it's got green, yellow, and red dots all over it.
Yeah. So we had a proprietary system that we had built over time that we put into play at Koala. And at Koala, there was refining done with, how the postings worked and the areas and the type of posts versus photos. And we tracked it.
Google business profile post.
Yep. And we tracked it daily. We were constantly running reports, constantly seeing where we could grow it, and because it was our marketing. It actually became, before the end of 2024, it was the only marketing tool we were using. We had dropped all PPC, all LSA, and weren't doing any SEO. We weren't doing anything with the exception of Google Maps. And we grew in 2024, 55% with a sub 3% marketing spend. And that was a down year for most home service companies, which is why it kind of created a lot of buzz. We were on Toolbox for the Trades talking about it.
Okay, cool.
Because Service Titan can actually see the back end. And when you have Marketing Pro, it's like, hey, this is legit. What's actually happening here? We hired Grow with Clover. We hired Josh Laura Kelly. That was a channel through Kelly Stevens, who's a friend of mine, who's amazing, by the way. And then when they got into our books, they were like, wow, this is really, you are actually doing all the things you say. This isn't just a ploy. It was verified that the numbers were what we said they were. And then it kind of springboarded into a full-on business where we started getting referrals and people calling us. And we were running Koala and we were running So Good at the same time, all the way up until March of 2025. And it was decided within the partnership of everybody for us to go full on into So Good and step away from Koala with our other business partners in Koala.
So you're no longer a part of Koala.
I'm a minority owner. I still
silent owner.
Yeah, I bought into the company. I still own part of it. Kyle also owns part of it, and so, but the primary owners are running it now. We're not in operations. We get calls all the time like, "Oh, do you want to sell or do you want to buy this product?" It's not. I don't make that decision anymore. So I always tell people it's just not what I do.
It's so funny. I just have to point this out. Like, marketing companies want to own home service companies. Home service companies want to own marketing companies. Like, who's got it the easiest right now of getting clients or customers?
Well, I could tell you
what is easier, home service company or marketing company?
I will tell you that if you, and this is going to hit you more than a general marketing company, but if you are focused on your marketing and you're just like, and you pick a line to be in and you really stay focused on it, that is actually much simpler to navigate than home services.
Yeah.
So what we're doing
less people, less moving parts, less
you
physical
study
labor.
That. We study it all the time. Now, if you are like, I'm going to do SEO, I'm going to do AEO, I'm going to do PPC, I'm going to do LSA, I'm going to do social media, I'm going to do all these things, your focus starts to get like really wide and you're trying to manage so much that, not saying it's not doable, but you're probably going to spend a lot more effort running that than you would a home service business. So that's one of the reasons we stay niche.
So the other thing that I just thought of is this idea that I've heard a lot of people say before, which is every company is just a marketing company that offers a different kind of service. So, and you proved that with Koala, right? Because you guys were able to do this form of marketing that helped you grow. And that was what, like, although we know revenue is, what is it? Revenue is vanity and profit is sanity. You can also, like, this came out in the conference. We just finished the conference. Paul and I were talking about it before because he's really upset that he didn't come, and he should be. But one thing we talked about a lot was that money can fix anything in your business, right? So, like, and just this idea is like, if you are struggling to bring leads in and you have money, you can put money towards lead generation. If you're struggling to close sales and you have money, you can put money towards better salespeople, better training, better tools to help you increase your sales. If you have money and you need people, you can put money towards all kinds of ways to get new people. So like money can fix anything. So if you have a company that's growing, you can fix all of the internal problems with the money that you're bringing in. So therefore, everybody is a marketing company. We all are just companies that need lead generation, because without leads and without customers, we aren't a company. Like,
Yeah.
what is it?
I like to try to tell everybody, like, this is the same thought process and slightly different. We're all sales businesses
Yeah.
too. Everybody's a salesman. I don't care what you
Right.
do within
We're
the
all in
company.
sales.
Even my people that are in the back end that are just doing fulfillment, they're still sales, because if that fulfillment isn't in line with what we're supposed to do for the client, that client isn't going to pay, they're not going to buy, we're not going to have that do the growth and all that. So they're all kind of relative. Now, I went the backwards way. So there's a lot of marketing guys now that are jumping into the trades because they're like, hey, but there's a few of us that came from the trades, that did the trades and they came out, like Tersh.
Yeah.
Gosh, they
Yeah.
were in the trades. I would say that out of those people, I probably spent more time in the trenches than most, because I did it for 25 years. But I
Yeah.
worked from a pump truck driver pumping septics to a plumbing apprentice, to a plumber, to a salesman, to a supervisor, to a manager, all the way to a CEO. I kind of saw so many things throughout that time, helped businesses grow and scale from 1.5 million to $120 million in revenue in a year. And
Yeah.
the management structures that fall into those have even helped me within So Good. These are home service structures. Why do they translate? Because business is business.
Yeah.
And you need leadership that has the ability to see what's coming. You need leadership that knows how to train people. You need leadership that knows how to treat your customers or your staff. There's so many things that I learned in that. I will say that sometimes in business, you learn things almost the hard way. Like, we're a we're a mapping company, Jen, and then Google AI mode launched and Gemini took over Google Business Profile. And it changed how quickly and how much movement you can get on Google Maps. And it changed so much of that structure that the huge wins we were getting, because we would take a client from all red, like just obscurity,
Yeah.
to 75% of the map in like
Yeah.
3 to 4 months. Like, we could change it overnight. And they would it was so crazy. And then it's like, all of a sudden that slows down to a snail's pace. And it's like,
Well, then you brought up my next point, which, excuse me. So what is working now? Like, you guys aren't doing what you were doing. It's April 2026. What is working now with Google Maps and everything you just said?
yeah. So what we do now is based on what Google is using within its AI platform. So Google AI Overview, which is powered by Gemini for its generative search tools, Google AI Overview is showing up in over 65% of all search, including local business. And that also, the same AI base is what runs your Google business profile. So we stepped into AI optimization by the connection to Google business profile, not by saying we just need another line in the water. And we actually started this in June of 25. We actually went to Plumbing Hacks Conference and we taught a class on how to show up on the Google AI Overview. We didn't even sell a product to do it. We just taught how to do it. Like, hey,
Are you going to tell us how to do it?
oh yeah, sure. I mean, nope. That we taught a class on it, and we also taught a class at Next Level Pros in July. And then both those classes came with clients saying, "Can I just hire you to do it?" And we said, "This is how we started in Maps." Well, I guess we do need to shift the business, and we started doing it. And yeah, we weren't actually.
So tell us,
trying.
give us like at least, I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know if it's like a 1, 2, 3 thing or just like one thing that you could do.
Yeah, 100%. So this is going to go against every SEO company that now does AEO, and I'm going to apologize to them for telling them that they're not looking in the right place. They're comfortable on websites, so they like it. Now, your website matters about 30% of the time, maybe as much as 35% of the time when it comes to AI search. AI does not use blue lake search habits that Google used forever. So if you're focused on where your website ranks on old search, on their old algorithm search, if you're worried about that, you're looking in the wrong bucket. That doesn't mean this doesn't mean SEO is dead. A lot of guys like to say that. That doesn't mean that. Okay, so I'm not here to say that. 65% of AI, when we did 20,000 searches. That's a lot, by the way. 65% of the time, Google's AI overview was pulling from YouTube and or Reddit first. That was the first place it was at. Okay. Only 20 to 25% of the time was it pulling from blogs, and less than 5% of the time was pulling from FAQs.
Okay.
Which is the two highest website, right? That's where it was pulling web traffic.
Yeah.
Now, what we did find when we drilled that down on those searches was there wasn't a YouTube answer and there wasn't a Reddit answer in those markets. So the AI could have looked there first, but because it didn't pull anything in, it went to the next step and the next step. So that's a bit hard for me to tell you 100%. But what we do know is if your market can get, if the YouTube gives the answer in your market, it's going to look at that first. If it can,
but it's not pulling transcripts. So, okay, so I'm thinking AI overview, and this is going to be purely for my sake. Hopefully this will help our listeners too, but it's not pulling from transcripts. And the only reason I'm saying that is because AI sucks at watching videos for the most part.
It goes from that transcript.
It's a transcript that YouTube's already creating. It's not watching the video.
It's not watching the video. It's going from the transcript, but it doesn't pull the transcript and put that as the answer. So that's the other thing that people might get wrong. I'm not telling you that that's the answer. What it does is it follows a trail back. So what it wants to do is say, this business put this answer up. Is this business local? That's where the Google business profile comes in. And then if this business is local and it gives the answer here, then I want to look at that business's FAQ to see if they actually are, like, is this business really doing this? Do they actually do this? And if it's not there, it stops. If it has the FAQ, then it wants to actually pull the answer off the blog. And it wants to put the blog as the answer. So the AI overview is pulling blogs. You can call it whatever you want. It's pulling blogs off of websites. But that blog isn't going straight into website traffic, which is what a lot of AEO companies are like, oh, it's doing all these things. It's like, that's not true. What we do is we build curated YouTube content. We build curated blogs, and we build curated FAQs. And then we also match those to postings and know before you goes on the GBP. And we actually put the trail of breadcrumbs that the AI follows to give the blog. And we get that. We get in the AI review. We also show up in ChatGPT a bunch. We show up in all of the AI searches for most of our clients. Not all of our clients pay for the Reddit piece, because that's an add-on, by the way. Because if you don't know a lot about Reddit, you can't API into it. So it's all human, right? You can't schedule postings.
But not only that, this is my complaint about, whenever marketers start saying like, oh, we need to use Reddit. And I'll also say, from what I can see, ChatGPT specifically isn't pulling from Reddit as much as it was in the beginning, from what I'm seeing, just when it's like linking things back. But I could be wrong. But the whole thing about Reddit and thinking about it like from I want somebody to manage my Reddit, as somebody who's fully, I have a great understanding of Reddit. I use Reddit as a user, and if you don't use Reddit, because I know a lot of people don't, I'm not saying this to you, Paul, I'm saying this to our listeners, but Reddit is it's like I'm going to say it's like a gossip forum, but it's basically like, you can find anything. It's like being in the comments of TikTok. It's like you can find any common topic or something that you like that's super niche. So like a TV show that you watch, a book that you've read, and so of course there are like cities, and I don't hang out in like San Antonio Reddit, but that's like, so that's why from a business standpoint, it's like, how do you create Reddit content that actually makes sense for a Reddit subcommunity? Because that's not how Reddit works. It's not like a feed, it's like a conversation.
Yes. So I don't want to give away, for that, I would say I don't want to give away all of our Reddit secrets, so to speak, but we do get great traction on our Reddit clients. And we get more traction through ChatGPT than we do any of the other LLMs when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
Reddit. So it still uses it. The issue becomes when a question is asked of ChatGPT, especially if it's for a local business. My roof is leaking. What do I do? Let's just say that's the question for a
Mm-hmm.
roofer. ChatGPT is looking not only for that answer on Reddit, but it's looking for local, right? It wants to make sure that subreddit is in some related to where if it's in San Antonio, that it's in San Antonio. And then the answers on there need to relate to somebody that is of actual authority, like a roofer. So there's a channel of how do I say it? It's all about the breadcrumbs that lead back to where you need that AI to go to show that you're the right person. So it works slightly different on Reddit than, of course, it does on YouTube, but in our world, they both do the same thing. We both drive that traffic. So I'm going to take like a second of time here to say, if you're an SEO company and you have a client that wants to work with us, this is going to help you. Your web traffic is going to increase by a lot. And we have some SEO firms that fight us when their client wants us to do work for them on the site. And we're like, we don't want the website. We just do two little things on there. We do the FAQ and we do the blog. And I promise you, the client's going to love you more because your numbers are going to go up. All of their numbers are going to go up. All the impressions are going to go up. All of their rankings are going to start to climb because of what AI is doing. We see it time and time again with.
But so what could a
our,
contractor do today
yeah.
to improve these rankings?
Well, the number one thing would be to start creating educational YouTube content. That's the number one thing. Making sure that that content is matched up with FAQs and that those FAQs have blogs as well that match. Make sure you're working local relevance into all of the things you're doing, right?
And
Make
what
sure
does
you're
that
optimized.
mean? Local relevance.
At some point in that blog, you need to make sure that that blog says who you are and where you're from, basically. Like I'm a roofer from, let's just say I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee, then you need to make sure that you're putting that in there. So a lot of blogs I see go out, a lot of AI blogs, a lot of AEO blogs and SEO blogs don't have anything local. They'll be like, hey, this is what a surge protector is for an electrician. And it's like, but how does that tie back to the business? AI is not going to take that random blog just laying out there and then say that it answers this person's question in this neighborhood. It needs that in there because it doesn't understand. Now, let's all remember, ChatGPT doesn't have a map. It doesn't. It uses Bing Places, TomTom, like it pulls from other things. So if you can give it where you are, it's going to make you more relevant to them.
Mm-hmm.
So local relevance built into everything you're doing, making sure you're telling us who you are, why it's important in that area, asking a question and answering that question in a way that the AI recognizes that that's a question that somebody will ask.
I would love for you to give us one tip about Reddit, because I've asked every marketer about how to use Reddit in a way that makes sense, because I know what Reddit is. And everybody talks about how important Reddit can be, but nobody has shared with me how to actually do it.
Again, there's different marketing companies that do different things. If you have a Reddit page and you want to do postings like on that page, you're not going to get much traction. That's the reality, because that's not how Reddit works. Reddit works in a conversational way. So you need to be interacting with local subreddits. That means if you're a roofer and you're in San Antonio, you want to be working in San Antonio subreddits that based in some sort of home repair, home renovation, things like that, where you are getting in there and you're answering questions. What AI likes about Reddit is people will tell you you're wrong.
But so if you're answering questions, how does that go back to your business?
That's a good question. When you're answering questions, make sure you're linking the answers to those questions from your blogs. So
Okay.
let's
So
say that I have,
you could essentially go into Reddit, figure out what people are asking, write a blog that answers the question, and it doesn't matter how old this blog post, like this Reddit question is, then you answer it and link your blog post.
yeah,
Okay.
yes. So,
That's simple
and
enough.
yeah, and by linking that blog post, that if AI finds that subreddit in San Antonio, reads that question, and that question matches what somebody typed in to the AI,
Yeah.
what do I do if my roof is leaking? That's going to be on Reddit. You answer that question in the local relevant,
Yeah.
subreddit, and then in the answer you say, but for more information, check this out, and you link that blog from your site. The AI is literally going to go from here to there. It's
Yeah.
going to go boom and boom. And you're going to show up on, not on all of them, because there is a path to it. There is the FAQ piece. There is it linking back to your GBP. There's other tools. But if you're like, hey, I'm on a tight budget, I can't hire So Good to do this for me today, you definitely can move your own needle by doing that. This is
Yeah.
the same thing I try to tell everybody. Like, right, can I put a roof on my house? I can buy hammers. I could buy a hammer, nails. I could buy shingles. I could buy the underlayment. I could put it up there. Is it going to be the same roof that a pro puts on? No. Will it
Oh,
keep the
yeah.
water out? Probably for a while. Right. So if you can't afford to hire somebody that does this every day, you could do it yourself, just like you could do postings on Facebook or Instagram. But is it going to be as good as what you're getting from Keyheart? Absolutely not. But if you
Yeah.
need to get something going till you can afford to hire the pro, that's okay. I tell you to do it, but I will tell you, Jen, you know this too. I'm sure you do this. You talk to somebody that they're running a $3 million to $4 million a year business. They're struggling to keep up with all the work they have. And they're like, I could just do this myself. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you can, or
It's
you
just a
could
lot of
focus on your
time.
business to grow it and let the leads come in from the people that do this every day.
Yeah. So with how you guys were doing it, the map before, which was like highly focused on Google Business Profile content versus the strategy that you have now, how much of the Google Business Profile, like constant updating, is still necessary, do you think?
It's still vital. So we
Okay.
still use the same algorithm for our daily postings, our daily photos postings. And we had to switch from frequently asked questions to do Q&A on Google profile. Now we do know before you goes. You definitely want to build out and do that on I say daily. It's not every day, right? So we
You
have an
can
algorithm
schedule
that
Google
says when.
Business Profile post,
Mhm.
and so is that
Yep.
still, like, just as valuable as posting in real time?
Oh, yeah. No, scheduling is completely fine. We have an automated scheduler that literally has a built-in and predictive algorithm that says on a Tuesday at 2:00 is when you're supposed to post a picture.
So
And
are
so I kind of
you
tell everybody that it changes.
I know I think that you guys do this, but there's also something about, like, the photos being from the area that you want the business in, right? Like, their details should match that city and state and all of those things.
Yeah. Yeah. We pull the photos directly out of their CRM. So if they're using House Call Pro or Service Titan or Proline, or it doesn't matter what CRM you're on, we
Yeah.
get the photos directly out of the CRM and then we post them. And so we are strategic about where they post, when they post. We try not to take photos from it doesn't help you to try to get a 20 by 20 mile grid. Google doesn't like to push anybody out past 13 by 13. It just doesn't unless you're super rural. If you're in
Mhm.
any kind of like a populous area with a lot of competition, Google doesn't think anybody's going to travel that far.
Yeah.
So don't waste your time being like, oh, I want this neighborhood 25 miles away. I'm going to do postings for that. It's not how it works.
Yeah. So your address matters, your Google Business Profile address.
Yeah. And there's so many parts of the Google Business Profile that still are completely accurate to how we built.
Mhm.
Like having multiple departments within each business is super important. So like if I'm an HVAC plumbing company, I want to have multiple departments on that GBP location. So I want to have an HVAC department and a plumbing department, now the same building. Because a lot of marketing companies will say, well, you need to rent a separate office for your plumbing separate from air conditioning. And that is not correct. Google will let you departmentalize and have multiple departments within the same building, which is how, even if you look up your local Sam's Club right now, you'll see Sam's has it. They'll have a pharmacy one, and there'll be a Vision one, all in the same building for Sam's Club. How do they have optical, pharmacy, and Sam's all in one building? Departments. How does your car dealership have service, parts, used and new, all in one address, all by department? Google did that specifically for Ford, Chevy, Dodge, for Walmart, for Costco. Like, the big players shaped Google.
Yeah.
And that helps you if you understand how that works.
Yeah. So what are you seeing, or are you seeing anything that's shifting right now with AI search? I mean, obviously you talked about what you're doing right now, but are you seeing anything that's shifting that you're kind of looking at? And of course, I'm just going to caveat that with saying, no matter what you say, we know that might not be the case. It might continue to change. But is there anything that you're looking at that's really interesting for you in AI search?
Yeah. By the time this podcast launches, most of what I say will be obsolete. No, I'm joking. But
well, I think honestly we're like caught up, so it could be next week. So
okay, cool. The reality is, what we do see is that Google is showing AI overviews more often every day, and
it's actually
it appears
stopping now on my phone. Like, the AI, it doesn't even go. Like, when it answers, it stops. Like, you can't even see the search results. It's only showing the AI overview.
Yeah. Google is shifting that way. And I talked about this actually. I met with AJ Breeley. We talked about it, but Google is actually shifting a bit out of the general search world and into where it monetizes. So it's actually trying to become more of a commerce platform than a search platform. Google doesn't lose a lot to ChatGPT taking search. If it can make all its money, why would you run a search that doesn't pay you anything when you can then just run the monetization side of Google, where you're still paying, people are paying for ads or paying for, like, that's Google's leaning in hard on that. So we will see more AI overview becoming more prevalent. We're going to see it more, like you're saying, where it's stopping and showing you just that. Google doesn't want you to leave their website. Like, it doesn't want you to go from Google to their website. I'll say that. That was intentional when Google had an antitrust suit from the federal government where they were going to try to break Chrome off. That's when Google actually started shifting heavily into the map pack. And then Google's AI mode is not turning away from that, because when they were possibly going to lose Chrome, that means they were going to lose hosting, like putting all these sites. Because if you don't have a browser, the websites don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
So they said, we're not gonna make websites matter. We're gonna lean into just ourselves. That's why if you look at a Google business profile now, the website used to be like call, website, all these things, directions, all this at the top. Now the website doesn't even show in there. It's actually way down over here. Like, you have to scroll down and find the website. They took that button off of the hot buttons because they don't want you to click it. So I believe we're going to see more Google AI overview. And by the time we had about 12 months, so by the end of May, we'll say, we should start seeing pretty close to 100% of all Google search being AI overview search. And
what are you seeing with that? Like, like get a quote, the AI quoting that it's doing now.
Well, this is where I would plug, contract to commerce, somebody like Lisa, and say, if you're not able to give pricing on your site for major items, it's going to really affect how Google sees you, how that AI sees you, because Google's leaning in really hard into pricing, and it doesn't want to be wrong.
Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot. I saw Marcus Sheridan, I think his name is. His book is called They Ask You Answer, but it's creating blog posts specifically around what consumers are asking for. And the number one thing that people ask for is, how much is it going to cost? And so if you don't have pricing on your website, and you don't have to like put your price book on the website or like line item, like cost of equipment, cost of labor, like all of those things, but you do need to say this is going to start at this price and this is going to start at this price, or like
Yeah.
that's the kind of information that it's looking for right now.
Yeah. Putting like generalization into blogs is a great way to answer that question. Like a water heater should be about this much. That doesn't give a quote to a client, but it gives AI information that it didn't have.
Yeah, you can
Right.
also
So
say like, if it costs this much, here's what you can expect. If it costs this much, like you can give like why you might be more expensive than other places, or why some things might be, why it might be cheaper to buy it from Home Depot versus from you. And that way you can also start to like answer some of those hesitations that people have whenever they're
no.
purchasing.
Yeah, 100%. Like you can start painting the narrative ahead of time. And so many business owners are like, oh, I don't want to put my price up there because then what if they're just shopping on price? I'm like, well, then that's not your customer anyways, right?
Right.
That's
They would
definitely
have
not
done
your
that no
client.
matter what.
Yeah, then they would have wasted your truck roll. Like that's the thought process of everybody's my client. And if you could dig into your ICP, like who's my ideal customer? My ideal customer is buying on value and trust and relationship way more than they're buying on who's the cheapest.
Yeah.
If your client is always buying the cheapest, I could tell you, I know Key Art Marketing is not the cheapest social media manager you can get. Like that's not the cheapest because they're one of the best, if not the best in the market. So you pay for that. Like they have to be profitable to continue to deliver business to businesses all over the country.
Right.
So yeah, there's a value to paying a little bit more. Probably not the most expensive either, but I don't shop that, so I don't know. But I could tell you that I know some people that do social media management, social media posting, social media ads. And I'm like, they say, tell me what their price is. I'm like, what? How do you make a living at that? That's insanely low. You can't, that's too low.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
it's the same on plumbing, same on roofing. You're going to get
Absolutely.
what you pay for.
Ooh, we
So,
just gave some incredible tips here in this episode on how to get seen and found with our AI search that everybody, the burning question that everybody has now. So as we wrap down here, I ask a final question to all of our guests here. So you're on the Kee To Growth podcast. So what is the key to growth?
wow. I mean, in my world, the key to growth has always been knowing your numbers and holding yourself accountable to them. As a tradesperson, you got to know your numbers and you have to look in the mirror if you're failing in that and be like, I'm not doing a good job.
Yeah,
Like that's what it comes down to.
absolutely. So important. Okay, so if people want to find out more about you and So Good, where can they go to get that information?
They can look at our website, sogoodteam.com. They can send me an email, paul@sogoodteam.com. So you also will probably see us at most events. Unfortunately, we did not get to the Key to Growth. We should have gone there, and I'm just going to plug that it looked like an amazing show. I had a call with Robin Cody
Oh,
today,
nice.
and
She
she
was
had a great
there.
time there. And it didn't help my FOMO there, my fear of missing out. So, but you will see us at events throughout the U.S. You'll see us in San Antonio next year, I'm sure.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for being here. This was great.
Yeah, thank you.